Hi, welcome back. 7:24 on your Thursday. Governor Jeff Landry wants lawmakers to approve funding for the state's new LA Gator Scholarship Program. But the Louisiana Senate president said his chamber will dramatically scale back the money the governor wants when it comes to the new private school voucher program. So this is a story that our partners at the Louisiana Illuminator have been covering for a while now. We're talking about it this morning. Greg LaRose, editor-in-chief of the Louisiana Illuminator, thank you so much for always joining us on these important topics. So this is a platform that the governor ran on. Talk about how big of a cut this is at him and at the program as well.
Sure. So keep in mind, before the governor came up with LA Gator, there's been a voucher system in place since Bobby Jindal was in office. It's been intended to go to low-income students with disabilities to give them an opportunity to pursue private education. There are about 6,000 children in that program. And when LA Gator was created, the Senate President Cameron Henry said it was with the understanding that first and foremost, we're going to keep those students in the program, and then we'll look year to year at our budget and see how can we add to it. Well, Governor Landry decided in his proposed budget, we're going to basically double that number, adding more than 5,000 or so students. So he added another $44 million to the program that was already costing about $50 million annually. So the ask all total is $94 million. Senate President Henry has said, well, not so fast. Let's rewind this. These are tight times. There are other things we could do with that money. So that's where we stand now with the state budget now in the Senate hands, and senators meeting now basically and deciding here's what we're going to put in it, here's what we're going to take out, and coming out, Henry would indicate $44 million that the governor wants in the program.
And so the argument is really, is the money better spent in other places where there is money needed, such as, what are the other programs that Cameron's talking about?
One area is a third grade tutoring program that was created but not funded last year. So that really hasn't gotten off the ground. That's one area. The possibility of putting it into teacher and school employee pay raises, which really still aren't permanent. They're going to keep that stipend that's been in place, but there's no guarantee long term that that raise will be permanent. Everything on down to sheriffs and upgrading their jails, because now they're housing more 17-year-olds and you have to account for them separately from your adult population. The list goes on how they could spend that money.
So the studies, there's a study done in 2023.
Yeah, the Times-Picayune and the Advocate looked into how these Jindal voucher students were doing, and it found that 3rd through 8th graders at from low-income families in public schools met standards. Roughly about 25% of them did. For the voucher students, that rate dropped below 15%. Wow. So
the
critics would point to it and say, yeah, this isn't really working.
Interesting. Okay, so the next step for this bill is what?
Senate has in its hands the budget that came from the House with $94 million. We would anticipate, according to what Cameron Henry is saying, $44 million would come out and leave it at that $50 million base rate.
All right, Greg LaRose, thank you so much. We'll see what happens. Editor-in-Chief of Louisiana Illuminator, and we are going to be right back after this story.